Welcome back to Backward Point Podcast. Pakistan has secured their first ODI win against Sri Lanka in this three-match ODI series. Lots to talk about. But first, with me as always, my brother, my co-host, Bashar Syed.
Is this Sri Lanka's A team, B team?
I've lost the alphabet count of how many teams are being sent to Pakistan or not being sent to
No,
Pakistan.
just so we know if we can celebrate this win or should we just take it with a grain of salt?
You're not allowed to do anything, Bashar. You're not allowed to celebrate anything. It's the internet. You should know that.
Okay.
I had to have a pickle to pick. What is up with the green and
The
Pakistan
neon?
kit? It's so bright, and I know they changed companies. I know AJ was doing it before, and then now they've switched to some other company. But they've messed up the dye or something of that nature. It's so bright, and it's like hurting my eyes. And I also have another wardrobe issue. Now, this is just me. I'm sure before we even get to the game, this is important for me to like clarify, and I hope that I'm not alone in this. The Pakistan ODI sweater looks weird. The vest.
Sweater?
The vest. It looks weird.
The one you were on top of the...
Yes.
I didn't pay attention.
I think it's... Now, if you go back, guys, let me know if I'm onto something. So I was comparing it with the vest that Sri Lanka was wearing, and it looked a lot better. It was very well fitted, and I think it's all about the V-neck. I think it's... The Pakistan one is deep and like the V itself is very shallow. The one on the Sri Lankan vest is thick and not as deep.
Sri Lanka, I think, was wearing a vintage kit because it gave me a lot of the 90s Sri Lanka kit vibe.
I mean, I've had issues with Pakistani kits for a very long time. Just in general, like I think there are some really iconic kits that should be repurposed and reused. But whatever has been happening with the Star Nation and then the Zigzag and then the Matrix kits, I'm not really.
I just realized that Thunder kit that Pakistan wore in the 2022 T20 World Cup, that was a throwback vintage kit from a jersey Pakistan wore in the 90s to a tour to Australia. I was watching some Aqib Javed highlights. Don't ask me why. But he was wearing that same Thunder kit. And that's when I was like, okay, this is a throwback to that kit.
You actually think that there's like graphic designers in the PCB thinking that far ahead?
Oh, hell no.
Bro, all we want as Pakistan cricket fans is just give us the 99 kit again. Repurpose it, make it better, or don't even touch it. Just repurpose it, slap a Pepsi logo on it. Let's move on. But this is what we get. And we're stuck with this until the next ODI World Cup, I believe. There's another like 2 years of just whatever this is.
I don't even know what system they have in place to change the kits. Like, what is there a duration? Is it?
It's just like in Urdu they say theka. Like AJ had the theka, and they were producing less than quality kits, and now they've moved it to some other company. I haven't really researched this. This is off the top of the dome. But whoever the new company is, the dye that they're using is way too bright. Like it's not working for me.
I've noticed that they change kits right before every single ICC tournament.
Yeah. So there's probably going to be a new T20 kit next year. Well, in 6 months.
Right.
That's going to be interesting. I'd love to see what that is. I hope they're working on it right now. If not, BP Consultancy is open.
Let's get into the actual match in this series.
Let's do it. Look, when Pakistan wins, let's get into it.
Before we get into the actual match, there was one change to the Pakistan squad before this series, and that was Hasan Nawaz being dropped, and there was no replacement for him announced for the ODI squad. However, Fakhar Zaman comes in for him in the T20I squad. Now, what we understand is that Hasan Nawaz has been asked to go back and play domestic cricket, so the ongoing Qaid Azam Trophy, Pakistan's premier domestic red ball tournament, is ongoing, and he has been asked to go there, work on a few things.
Also, he just had a kid.
He had a kid, correct. So, from what we understand, it's not the end of Hasan Nawaz.
No.
But it just looks, again, a little bit weird when your captain calls him a generational talent. And he also mentioned that Mohammad Haris is a match winner, Hasan Nawaz should be a match winner, Saim should be a match winner. 2 of those 3 guys are now dropped. Saim still just hanging on the edge.
Yo, like the generational talent thing actually fits for Saim a lot more than it does for the other 2. Saim, all format player, brilliant fielder, as we saw today as well, just fielding a backward point, stopped a many a boundary. Great bowler, not so well today. And then, an iconic batsman, especially in the ODIs. He, for a moment, held Pakistan's only status of having an average of 50 and strike rate of 100.
For one match.
But, these are things that can come and go. That's not what I'm concerned about. For the most part, I'm excited about Saim. And
back to Hasan Nawaz. I think ever since the Tri-Series, like it was the later part of the Tri-Series plus the Asia Cup, he just looked off color. His decision making was questionable. He was fast tracked to the ODI team. He had basically little to no list day experience or first class experience. And they took his numbers in T20s and thought, okay, he might be a good ODI player because he could come in the middle towards the back end, be a spin basher, pace basher. And he scored a 50 on ODI debut against West Indies. He was the man of the match there. But again, his decision making, his game awareness, his situational awareness, very questionable. And I think it's a good call for Hasan Nawaz to be rested and being sent to domestic. I just hope he gets matches in domestic because Mike Hesson came out saying that they also sent Sufyan Mukim to domestic, but his domestic team benched him from the games. So there's a miscommunication between the Pakistan management and the domestic teams where they're sending these players back to go play, but they're being benched.
That's crazy. So there's the team. Who does he play for? Afterward?
Sufyan plays for, I think, Peshawar.
Peshawar. I would love to see who they have over Sufyan Mukim in that squad. But the Hasan Nawaz thing, I think people are like jumping out of proportion with the reaction of Hasan Nawaz being dropped. He has been playing cricket for a year for Pakistan. It's been maybe even less than a year. He debuted this year for Pakistan. People forget that. Because there's been so much cricket in between, people just think he's been there forever. Let the guy cook a little bit. Let him go back into the management. He himself did not want to play the remainder of the Asia Cup games, and then he himself wanted to sit out after he had a baby. I think there's obviously something personal going on with him. Let him deal with it. And when he comes back with a clear head, that could be in the next few weeks, right before the World Cup, or even after the World Cup. That's fine. If he actually is a generational talent, as everyone is identifying, I don't want him to be lost just because we were fast tracking him onto some sort of stage that maybe he wasn't himself ready for. Even Babar Azam took 20 matches before he got his first century in Test matches. So there are moments and there are players that need a little bit of care. Even Saim got such a long run, and then now he is who he is. And so with Hasan Nawaz, let him cook. Sit back, relax, give him a clear head, give him a target on what to achieve. And if that includes him coming back into the World Cup, that's fine. If not, there's many a World Cup in the future. But for my Shadab conspiracy theorists, tinfoil hat wearers out there, I thought this was going to be a 1-to-1 replacement. I think Hasan Nawaz out, Shadab Khan in, boom.
It's really early for Shadab Khan to come back. He has played no cricket professionally since his comeback.
He's playing some cricket right now.
There's videos going out where he's practicing in Lahore. I saw Misbah Haq umpiring, maybe coaching him. I'm not sure what's happening there. But yeah, Shadab is slowly making his way back into practicing and getting into some games. I heard he's going to make his comeback in the national T20, which is going to happen.
I heard something else.
What did you hear?
There's rumblings, there's murmurs, there's rumors that he might be going into the Tri-Series.
No, that would be criminal for Shadab. Like, it's not fair to him to be thrown right into an international series.
That's what I heard. Fact check it all you want. I just thought the Hasan Nawaz thing was peculiar in that sense, where Shadab would just come in for Hasan Nawaz, bat at number 5.
I also thought it was weird that they brought in Fakhar Zaman for Hasan Nawaz. So we kind of have our top 3 set from our last series, Farhan, Saim, Babar. And so I was wondering, is Fakhar going to bat 4? Is he going to bat at number 6? Is he going to be a finisher? But time will tell how that plays out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that happens. This game, though, topsy-turvy, quintessential mid-2000s ODI cricket game between Pakistan and Sri Lanka. The only thing that was missing was the venue, which should have been Dubai or Abu Dhabi. You know what I'm talking about? This is like a pure game from like 2009.
I have an observation.
Let's go.
8 of the 11 players in this playing 11 were playing against India in the 2023 Asia Cup match that went on the reserve day, which was the beginning of the downfall of Pakistan cricket. So only players missing from that playing 11 were Imamul Haq, Iftikhar Ahmed, and Shadab Khan. So what happened to Dosti Yari? It's been a couple of years. Are these our best players still?
They keep coming out. They keep popping up. Imamul Haq, Ifti, and Shadab were the ones that were missing.
Injured.
Yeah, but Shadab, I don't think Shadab really got swept, I should say, in that game. I remember him just that's where he lost his form, ironically speaking. Like, he was such an asset for Pakistan before that series, and that was the game that lost his form, and then, we're still looking for it here, there, and everywhere. But yeah, this was such a fun game for me to just follow along. I woke up about halfway through the first innings, Pakistan in turmoil, and then you have a sudden Saman Ali Agha, T20 captain, steering this godforsaken ship towards the light and the shore, and with him his lieutenant or lieutenant Hussain Talat guiding him through the abyss.
Some would say left-handed.
Left-handed lieutenant. It was just one of those things where I was like, wow, this is like one of those quintessential games. Pakistan's 20 for 3, misbah in, with Fawad Alam batting, and we're just like, we're here for the next 20 overs, hoping that it's 3-4 and over, and then we'll see what happens in the last 15. And this, Afridi will come, Razak will come, and we'll scamper our way towards the 280, 290 total. And then Saeed Ajmal and Lala and Razak and all these guys will save the day. This was basically what it was. I was taken aback to the mid 2000s, and it felt like a good deja vu, good trip. But at the same time,
that's a good reference, because that's exactly where I feel our ODI team is in the 2000s.
I mean, that's where Sri Lanka is too, apparently.
Well, Sri Lanka was not even...
You don't even have to like change some of these names. Like, you had a Mendes in there. You had a Fernando in there, Dilhara Fernando. You could just one for one players. You had you have two Mendes in there. Some Malingas in there as well.
Sri Lanka didn't qualify for the Champions Trophy, right?
No.
So they're not even top 8 ODI teams.
No.
Cool. Just confirming that.
But Sri Lanka is still undoubtedly a good team.
In these conditions, for sure. I forgot to mention in the last podcast that
Afghanistan qualified for the Champions Trophy, right?
They did.
Do you think Afghanistan is a better team than Sri Lanka in ODIs? Objectively speaking.
Let's have a bilateral series. I don't want to go into the second best team in Asia.
Again. We tried, but Afghanistan was like, we're not going to play.
No, I would give Sri Lanka the edge over Afghanistan.
In ODIs at least.
In a longer format,
yeah,
yes,
for
correct.
Sure. So let's not go to the Champions Trophy selections. Who was the 9th and 10th team in the 23 World Cup? Netherlands was in that World Cup, right? And West Indies was not. Objectively speaking, West Indies is still a better team than the Netherlands are. So
I don't know about that.
Okay, well. But yeah, it was like a flashback ODI for me. I really enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Pakistan lost the toss. Sri Lanka bowled first. Just a word on Abrar not playing. I think Shaheen mentioned at the toss that Abrar and Naseem Jr. are both not feeling well. So there was a forced change from what I understand, and Naseem came in for Abrar. And also, I heard Mike Hesson in the pre-match interview, he mentioned that they prepared a fast and a bit more pacey pitch in Pindi, which is why it made sense to go with 3 seamers plus Fahim as the bowling all-rounder.
I have no qualms with this pitch. I think this was a wonderful pitch. After a very long time, I saw some pace working in favor of Pakistan. I saw for the first 20 overs, I don't think a single spinner bowled for Pakistan as they were bowling. And it was just one of those things where I haven't seen Pindi reacting so well for pacers. Usually it's just a flat deck, it's zooming in, and then you hit it anywhere for 6, like Shadab says. This time you got a little bit of zoom, a little bit of swing, and especially for the Sri Lankan bowlers, they were doing such a good job. They got in, and they got Fakhar Zaman Sam Ayub in trouble. Like, they had no answers for the bowling that Sri Lanka was presenting them.
Yeah, they bowled wicket to wicket, good lines, good lengths, kept it tight. Saim got out LBW, front foot, just going across, I think. Getting between his bat pathway.
Yeah, I believe, I expect Saim to be better than that. His head falling over and his foot going across, that's something that you and I experienced in the nets. And so this was very elementary, I should say, from Saim. I expected a lot better from him, but he was really good in the previous ODI series, literally last week. So I'm not holding this against him, but the shocker for me was Babar and Fakhar Zaman. The way that they just dead batted the entire power play was honestly PTSD.
Once Saim got out, Pakistan played 3 maidens in a row.
3 maidens in a row.
So including Saim's over that he got out, the next over, and the over after that. 3 maidens in a row. It took them 21 balls to get a run off, and it was off of Mahesh Dikshana.
And I don't think the pitch was that difficult. This is indicative of Fakhar Zaman not being in form, Babar Azam trying to find form. This is like the quintessential, I have no confidence in the shot that I'm about to play vibe.
You know, Fakhar Zaman is not in form because he missed out on so many balls that were in his zone. There was a full toss on his pad that he hit towards the fielder, a couple of drive shots that typically a good in-touch Fakhar hits it for 4s, and he was hitting it straight to fielders. So Fakhar looks off color. Babar has been in probably his worst ODI form this year. Like, he's averaging in the mid to late 20s. in ODIs this year, which is the lowest he's averaged since his debut. So yeah, two guys who were struggling batting together and just not rotating strike, playing dot balls, building pressure.
I have a question for you.
Go for it.
Is Fakhar Zaman too old for Pakistan cricket right now?
Dude, not just that his batting, but he dropped a dolly in the field. And towards
he felt stiff to me while he was running.
they were hiding him at short third in the last over. Fakhar Zaman used to be a gun fielder
He used to be in the hot spots.
in the hot spots. So
Is he old, Bashar?
34 years old on paper, not in the best touch. The next ODI World Cup is a year and a half, a couple of years away. So can he make it that far? I don't know. Mike Hassan is all about building depth and bench strength. Does Hasibullah get a game in the next couple of ODIs? Do we get to see a sort of a backup being prepared for Fakhar Zaman? I'm not sure. Lots of questions.
I got numbers on Babar. 15 matches this year, 408 runs, 27.2 average with a strike rate of 76. 350s in there somehow, and a duck.
Yeah, so definitely not his
Not the best
best
year.
numbers.
This is his lowest year in his entire repertoire. Which is going to be tough. But, there's still a couple more ODIs to go before the end of the season. And I do believe that, I've said this before, people were making, I think the Shiva from the Patreon was making fun of me and was saying, my hot take is that Babar's century that everybody's waiting for, the 32nd one, is going to be in T20s and not in ODIs. And I still believe that.
Are you saying it's going to come against Zimbabwe in the Tri-Series?
We don't know. But it might
He's
be.
also batting at number 3. All of his centuries in the past have come while he was opening. So unless there's an early wicket and he comes in the power play and then scores, I doubt it.
I still think it's happening.
I think it might come in the next couple of games.
ODIs? I think ODIs, he's putting too much pressure on himself. You can just see it. With T20s, there's a little bit less friction. There's less time to think about your innings. How about that, right? You're not going to be playing 51 deliveries in T20s for 29 runs. If you're playing 51 deliveries, you best believe you're scoring a century in T20s. And so that's why I think that he's just getting into his head a lot more. Babar, I'm talking about. And the more he's on the crease without scoring runs, the more that pressure just keeps mounting and mounting. He just needs a release. I think the release might just be sometimes you get a release in a different form of the game. And his first slip catch was absolutely bonkers. That must have given him an insane level of confidence, especially because then he followed that up with a running catch on Naseem's delivery near the end of the game. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I do believe Babar Azam's elusive 32nd is a few days away.
Well, Pakistan were 28 for 1. And there was a bit of a recovery with Fakhar hitting Hazaranga for a 6, but he gets stopped next ball. And this entire first 15 overs gave me PTSD from the Pakistan versus New Zealand match earlier this year at the Champions Trophy.
Yes.
Just Pakistan losing early wickets
And
going into their shell.
You and I were on a flight, by the way.
We didn't watch that
So we
match,
were
thankfully.
Double PTSD. I was like, dang, bro, we're on a flight and Pakistan is choking.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we had the Patreon chat set up before that. Y'all were insanely helpful during that flight.
Yeah, but Pakistan, again, just going into the shell, not being able to rotate. I think rotation of strike across ODIs and T20s is a huge, huge issue right now. And I hope it's being addressed. I hope they're working on it somehow. But yeah, Pakistan lost Fakhar, wrong one to Hasaranga, getting stumped. And then Rizwan, also wrong one against Hasaranga, ABW, absolutely plumb. And then Babar also getting trapped by Hasaranga. Now, Babar in particular, I think this is a bit concerning because he has had a history of struggling against leg break googly bowlers. So I know I'm mixing formats a bit, but Babar in T20s, if you go to his most dismissals for bowlers, top 5 of 9 are Rashid Khan, Adil Rashid, Imran Tahir, Shadab Khan, Sodhi. What's common here?
Right arm wrist spinners.
Who have googlies.
Who have googlies, yeah.
So
you're saying I have a chance against Babar?
You might have a chance. But do you have a googly?
I have one that goes quick and fast. That's the only one I have.
Point being, Babar struggles against leg break bowlers, and particularly guys who have googlies. So he is struggling to pick the wrong one. And again today, he played for the googly, the leg break, and then it just nipped back in, and it went through his gap between bat and pad.
One of the top 5 bowlers you mentioned was Shadab Khan that has gotten him out. I mean, again, this is beating a dead horse, but why isn't Shadab, when he was fit, in the nets with Babar and just bowling him out? Give me 50-60 deliveries.
I don't think it's Shadab's responsibility to bowl to Babar.
That's not what I mean. It's not Shadab.
If that's his weakness.
It's not on Shadab. I'm talking about the team management, batting coach. I'm talking for the past 5 years. They know this isn't, because this is a weakness. If I were to zoom out a little bit more, I think the weakness that Babar actually has against spin is the ball that comes into him.
Yeah,
So
even Michael
that's why
Bracewell has got him.
Mike Bracewell, anyone that's a left armor finger spin,
Prabhat Jayasuriya.
Jayasuriya. Anyone who's left armor that has an arm ball that goes straight on. Kuldeep Yadav, he's a left arm wrist spinner, which basically comes into the right-hander. I think I started noticing this from the 2019 World Cup, where he was batting pretty well against India, and then Kuldeep just bamboozled him, bat pad, boom, off stump gone. And this was quite similar to that. I think if you identify the issue then or near then you could have worked on it with spinners that you've had in the tank for so long.
Whose job is this? Is this the coaching?
This is coaching and Babar, right? Like you and I are sitting here 7,000 miles away and identifying that this is an issue that has been prevalent for the entirety of Babar Azam's career. Sometimes
didn't the coach
this
say
this is under the impression that we think that Babar has not worked on this. A very good example, and all our Indian fans are going to turn off and yell at us. Virat Kohli has had the same issue on 4th, 5th stump his entire career. And literally, past series that he played, he had the same issue. And so sometimes, and you and I can sit here and there's not a shred of doubt in our minds that Virat has not worked on this. Sometimes, even if you work on it, it's just a weakness.
Muscle memory instincts take over.
It's just a chink in your armor, and you gotta deal with it. You gotta find other ways to overcome it. Maybe Babar has done that. There's no way for us to say that he hasn't, but that is definitely something that is glaring. Like you should be able to fix that at this point.
Going back to the coaching, I think Mike Hassan did identify that Babar needs to work on his spin game, slog sweeps in general. And
did he sweep at all today?
I don't recall.
The highlights that I saw,
he swept against South Africa in the 30-20 where he scored 68. But since then, I haven't seen many sweeps.
Because I was fully expecting him today to unleash that Babar that we saw in the 30-20I.
And this is one of the best pitches in Pakistan. Like at all Pindi, it's like 325, 300 plus is expected. So yeah, Pakistan finds themselves to be 95 for 4. And that's when Salman and Hussain Tarat have, what I might say, the match-saving partnership.
I tweeted in 2024 that Salman Agha is the spine of Pakistan cricket batting. And I just retweeted that same tweet today because need I say more of who this person is?
But don't you have an Islamabad United agenda?
Even if I do, I have a Salman Agha agenda. I think this man is the quintessential Pakistani cricketer. Like, the ragda in the domestic circuit. This guy comes through the cracks, makes his way into the top 11 of the Pakistan team in Tests, ODIs, and T20s, which is still a place that he has not maintained or claimed his own. But ODIs and Tests, like there's no person out there telling me that he has not been Pakistan's consistent hang in that spot, in that 5-6 spot for ODIs and 6-7 spot for Tests.
50 plus average in the last 12 months, strike rate over 90. And I think his contributions towards Pakistan's wins have been immense. So his numbers while batting when Pakistan wins, 62 average, 105 strike rate, 200s and 450s.
This is in ODIs.
ODIs in winning matches.
Wow.
So whenever he scores 100, even 50s, Pakistan has quite a large chance of winning. So he is sort of the backbone of our middle order, and he's done really well and consistently well since his debut.
Yeah, he's been one of those guys that you can be extremely reliable with, and you know that he's coming at number 5. If a collapse like this that you saw today happens, you have someone like an Agha, and before him with Agha was usually a Saud Shakil, but an Agha definitely that can see something through and put you in some sort of defendable total which you can go out there and fight for. And I think players like that who have been quiet, resilient warriors of Pakistan cricket usually go under the radar. Another one that comes into mind for Test cricket for me is Azhar Ali. We never gave him the flowers that he deserved, and he played 98 tests, not even
97.
97 tests, not
pushed
even
100.
Pushed him out. He just needed 3 more. You could have found a way to do that. But people like that, they go under the radar. But this is why you and I are here to shine a light on these guys. And I think this is one of many more Salman Agha innings that you're going to see where he comes out and saves Pakistan. And just go on and I'm hoping Agha will be the light.
Agha has been in the Pakistan domestic circuit for the past 11 to 12 years. And I think it is because he's been through the grind of domestic. And today, even Talat actually, that they were able to forge this partnership to get Pakistan out of this hole.
Sometimes you need luck on your side, and Talat getting basically a blinder turned his way. You just need some of those fortunate moves. that help you build an innings like that. And I think Talat and Agha should have actually seen this entire innings out. But if that was not the case, then we would have never known how awesome Mohammad Nawaz has been. Mohammad Nawaz has been actually the star performer since his comeback. Him and Fahim, their re-entry into the team is contentious. You can talk about if they deserve to be back or not. Now they've solidified their spot. Like I was the number one Fahim Ashraf denier, and then now I'm like, bro, bring Fahim back.
Look, I think Nawaz has been one of our most clutch players in the last 6 months. That's not even an argument. Like there's no debate about that.
Since the backward point video?
Since the backward point video.
We actually told him that. We told him that since he's come on backward point, he's just been a different player. And maybe it's the pressure of playing against you and I, or maybe it's just being on camera like that. But
because Pakistan was missing an all-rounder for such a long time. I mean, we had Shadab there, we had Nawaz there in the past as well, but and even Fahim, like these are the same players, but they look different under this management. Maybe it's a communication, maybe it's a role clarity, the confidence that they've been given, which is resulting in their performances.
Nawaz this year, 6 matches, 44 average and 92 strike rate. That's just an ODIs.
Yeah, his batting in particular has been phenomenal, right?
If I go into T20s, I think those numbers are going to stand out as well. Yep, right here. 18 average, 134 strike rate in T20Is. He just comes in near the end and just makes sure that the game is continued on. And he's been the changer.
Pakistan has scored 180 in the last 20 overs. And in the last match against South Africa, they scored 93 in the last 10 overs. And in this match, they scored 102 in the last 10 overs. So that's all majority thanks to Nawaz in the last 10 overs.
Welcome to 2009, Bashar. This has been Afridi Razak and Sohail Tanveer used to come in and give you 90 in the last 10. And then you would get to like 250 and then Misbah would be like, let's go chase this or let's go defend this. And so this is why I felt like very reminiscent of that era of cricket. Even the bowling was like, we kind of didn't have it in the bag until Haris Rauf came with the blinder. And I think this is probably the perfect point to talk about Pakistan's bowling against Sri Lanka's batting.
I think if you're talking about bats, you cannot talk.
I don't think I was talking about
bats. You have to talk about Yashi Sports because they are Canada's home of cricket. They are the go-to place if you're North America to buy your equipment. And they've been so kind, so generous to give us and Backward Point listeners an exclusive code.
BP15.
BP15 for 15% off your purchase. Yashi Sports is the place to go for expert advice. If you want to buy bats, pads, any sort of equipment related to cricket, go to yashisports.com and browse through their large array of equipment.
100%. Shaheen Afridi had an off day today.
Just Shaheen?
I think the Naseem thing I want to talk about, but I wanted to start with Shaheen first. Shaheen had an off day, no wickets. Still, like 35 dots is pretty good in a 10-over spell. What do you think about that? It's about 5 overs of dots.
I think you've got to go phase by phase.
Phase by phase.
Let's talk about the first 10 overs.
The power play.
The power play.
75.
And I think at least 20 runs of those 75 runs were wides, and there were wides that went for fours, wide plus buys. And I just saw a lack of control from Pakistan, from both Naseem and Shaheen. They weren't able to control the swing. They were wayward. They were going down leg, too much on the wide, offside. And their wrist wasn't behind the ball. And I just saw a lot of Naseem's bowling. I watched ball by ball. I went back to watch it. And he was looking to either ball on the offside. It was swinging away, off wide. If he was going too straight, it was going down leg, leg wide. Sometimes even so leg that it went for a boundary. Rizwan couldn't catch it. So
that happened twice.
These both guys looked off color and their radar was totally off.
Yeah, I agree with that. The first 10 overs was horrific, actually. And I was like, damn, I think they're going to lose this game in the 40th over. That's how it seemed to me. And the pitch was behaving completely different. The dew wasn't there. The ball wasn't gripping as much. There was a sheen on the pitch, which meant the ball was just zooming by. If you hit your shots, you were getting, runs on merit. And it was a bit worrisome in there. But then Haris Rauf came in, and he also went for a few. And this has been the case for Haris Rauf for a while. His economy in both T20Is and ODIs will be pretty high, but his average will be pretty low because when he takes wickets, he takes them in clusters. He was man of the series in that Australia series last year because he took wickets in clusters.
But him in Australia, like he's Malcolm Marshall.
He's one of the goats of Australian cricket. And remarkably, he's only played 3 ODIs in Australia, which is insane to me. If you think about it.
Pakistan won the series?
One series, yeah. But only 3 ODIs.
And it was an A-list Australian team?
Some would say that.
All right.
Maybe our series.
But Pakistan's issue has been taking wickets in the first 10 overs.
Pakistan has not taken power play wickets in the past 4 games.
I saw a stat where it said that Pakistan's strike rate in the first 10 overs of ODIs this year is 53. So they take 53 balls to take a wicket in the first 10 overs, which is basically the entire power play.
Yeah.
And it's not just the strike rate being high, the economy is pretty high as well. It's 5.2. So on average, if Pakistan ball 10 overs in a power play, the other team will be 52 for 1.
Which is a pretty good sweet spot to be in.
It's pretty good.
Which is
You see off the new ball, you have 9 wickets in hand, you can still go ballistic.
Which is crazy to me because Shaheen Shah Afridi is known to be the first over demolisher, at least in T20Is, he has been. And in ODIs, he's just looked a little off color. The pace has gone down a little bit as well. Even Waqar mentioned it in his comms. But I think he was trying to cover it up by saying, hey, his accuracy has gotten better, which I was also questioning, like, has it? I still think that the second spell of both these guys was a lot better. Naseem was astronomical. The first 5 overs, I think the first 3 overs he bowled, he was 32 for 0. And then the next 7 overs, he gave 20 runs or 23 runs with 2 wickets, which I think insanely good comeback. Naseem Shah should not have been playing today's game right now. That's my opinion. Something horrific just happened to his house recently. If you guys don't know, his house in Lower Deer got shot up by a gunman. And there's definitely some sort of... That happened like a day before this game even happened. So maybe the management should have sat him down. Because I thought he would look wayward, not only bowling-wise, but also in the field. He wasn't able to stop a simple boundary effort when past him for 4 in a very crucial moment. And, he did come back strong. And then he also had a maiden and took 2 wickets. I think he took the best wicket of the entire game, which was his in-swinging bowled. But apart from that, I think he's finding some sort of rhythm, some sort of color near the end of this game. I just don't think he should have been playing today, regardless. But again, Wasim was in, like you said, Wasim was sick, Abrar was sick. So maybe they had no choice but to.
And also in box cricket, guys don't want to sit out.
Yeah.
If they have an opportunity to play, they want to play. There's insecurities. There's like, oh, what if I sit out and this guy plays and he takes wickets? What happens to my spot? But there's a lot of those issues as well. But I think if you hear Mike Hesson in this entire ODI cycle, he's been saying one thing consistently. He's been saying our guys have to be more patient. You can't be going out there searching for wickets. You got to follow a bowling plan, keep bowling there consistently. And that's basically what Haris Rauf did. Haris Rauf came back.
Not in the first 3 overs, though.
I mean, I think his first 3 overs were pretty decent. Like he was still bowling length balls, wicket to wicket, top of off stump, swinging it here and there. And his triple strike was what sort of changed the entire momentum. Like he got Mendes, he got the other opener.
He got Nisanga, Mishara, and Mendes.
Yeah. So
Mendes he got first ball.
That 3 triple strike was basically what gave Pakistan the momentum. And this is no surprise that Haris Rauf looked really good because he went back into domestic and he played first-class cricket.
Played 2 rounds only.
He played 2 games of first-class cricket. There's an edit going on the socials of Haris Rauf being smashed here, smashed there, which I think is not really
indicative,
a good representative of how he actually bowled. He took wickets in those first-class matches. If you make an edit of a guy being smashed for boundaries, it's going to look bad.
Yeah.
What about his wickets?
Yeah, I totally agree. This is coming from Bashar's personal experience, guys.
Yeah. Even in the post-match, Haris Rauf came out saying that playing first-class cricket helped him bowl more consistently on a better line length. It helped overload his body with overs so he can be fueled up for this match.
Haris's press conference was interesting. It felt like a press conference after the final of the Asia Cup.
I didn't hear the press conference.
I heard his entire press conference. It was 6 minutes long, and he kept going on about, people will only remember the mistakes you've made in life, and sometimes he sounded like such a Pindi boy trying to get back with his girl. Like, you only remember the mistakes I made, bro. What about the 10 times that?
What about the good times?
What about the good times when I saved the day? One time I was just mean to you and you dumped me, and I was like, damn, bro, like this guy's in his fields, and he's still not. I think people are trolling him about the Asia Cup final.
It's not just the Asia Cup final, but it's just if you look back, Haris Rauf has been
momentous moments that
a
have gone.
Consistent person, and every time we have bottled matches toward the death overs. So we're mixing formats. Maybe in ODIs he isn't that bad. In T20Is, yes, he's pretty decent, but in crunch matches against big teams and big moments, he hasn't delivered for us.
Yeah. And so that his press conference is basically sort of unknowingly or knowingly, I should say, addressing those concerns. And so I think Haris proved himself. 10 over 61 for 4. One of the wickets that he had was the bonkers Babar Azam catch, which I have deemed the best catch of his career. Some people are coming out with his catch against Zimbabwe in the T20 World Cup.
Was that the one who was running back one-handed?
I think so. That was the one. There was one other person that came in with a deeper cut. I didn't reference that. I haven't fact checked that catch, so I can't say if that was a better catch or not. But for me, in recent memory, at least, this is the best Babar Azam catch. One-handed, diving to your right. What else do you want? He was parallel to the ground at one point, and beautiful to see. I loved his reaction to that. Sometimes when stuff like that happens, the only reaction to have is no reaction.
Also, good captaincy by Shaheen for getting the slip in, because just the ball before that, there was an edge for 4, and it wasn't really first slip. He was like it was like fly slip.
Yeah.
And
between first and second.
Yeah.
Some would say. I think Shaheen's captaincy is a little bit a mixed bag. It was good in that certain moment, but then he kind of fumbled the bowling allocation. And so we had another 2022.
I thought Nawaz was going to bowl the last
over. I was
over.
stressed out. I was like, I can't do this. I love Mohammad Nawaz right now, but I cannot do this.
And there was so much dew on the ground. There was towels all out to dry the ball. And we've played in dew here in Canada. And it's just almost impossible to grip the ball and ball the ball that you actually want to ball. So, and I forgot for some reason that Hussain thought of balls. So I was like, yo, who's going to bowl the last over? Is it going to be Saim? Is it going to be Nawaz?
Okay, let me give you a stat. The extras today were 31. 26 wides, 1 no ball, 3 leg wides, and 1 wide. Do you know which team has the record for the number 1 extras in a game, in an ODI game ever?
Is it Pakistan?
Yes. Do you know the number 2 team?
Zimbabwe?
Still Pakistan.
Okay.
The number 2, I actually went and saw these because I was just following on Quick Info as well. The number 1 was back in like the 1880s or something. Oh, 1980s or something. But the second one was, no, this is suspicious because this is a very conflicted era of Pakistan cricket. 1999, Pakistan versus Scotland. Pakistan gave 61 extras in a game where Scotland only made 161.
Is this a World Cup match?
This is a World Cup match.
99 World Cup.
99 World Cup match.
Yikes.
Abdul Razak, 5 no balls.
Yikes.
Lala, 2 no balls. I've never seen Shahid Afridi bowl a no ball in my entire life.
Was it a front foot no ball? Was it
again, can't check. I haven't seen the game. It was all only on the thing, but crazy. It was like 12 no balls and like 40 wides and then leg buys and buys. And it was an insane record. I implore everybody to check it out. Pakistan versus Scotland, ICC World Cup 1999. Pakistan has tied with itself in the most extras ever given. So this was not even close to what Pakistan has given, even though the first 4.5 overs, they gave 18 wides.
It's me versus I.
It's me versus I. Pakistan brought this game closer because of these extras. 26 runs just in wides and 1 no ball. That's insane to me, especially on this level. This is kind of like sheer level bowling. And
yeah, it was only until, I would say, Naseem's second last over of the match where he brought the game back, because Hasaranga looked like he's going to chase us down. And it was actually a lucky dismissal because that ball was supposed to be Yorker. It stepped out of Naseem's hand. It was a full toss.
But it was a full toss that was swinging into him at pace. So he didn't really have a chance to guide it anywhere or have the full face of the bat hit the ball. He kind of just went with a shot, and really good catch by Babar Azam under pressure on the field. And again, his reaction to his catches have been interesting to me. Again, shows a man lacking confidence. And when you get the basics right in a different area of cricket, you might see, that ripple effect come into this batting as well. I distinctly remember when Shahid Afridi used to be playing for Pakistan, when he had a good form with the bat, he was just a batsman. And then when that form would go away, he was like, I've always been a bowler. The same thing with kind of Saim right now, right? They always have these things to fall back upon. I think Babar, if he thinks himself as like the A-class fielder right now, that's just the contribution he has to the game, which, game-changing catch as well, then that sort of confidence helps him in other areas of the game.
I would argue that Pakistan won this match because of their bowling, not because of their batting, because they were at least 20 to 30 runs short with respect to conditions in Pindi. And also considering that there is a dew factor in second innings, you've got to score way above par to make sure that you have covered up for your bowling. And luckily for Rauf, for Fahim and Nawaz and Naseem towards the end, that they were able to defend this down.
So if it were up to you, who should have been the player of the match? Haris?
No, I think Agha is my player of the match. But I'm still saying that given the conditions, Pakistan should have scored 330, 320 at least.
Mm-hmm.
So it was still good recovery towards the end, but it's still not enough.
Not enough, yeah. I'd be interested to see how the second and third ODI play pans out. At this moment, I think you have an announcement to make, Bashar, to our many a follower and many a fan.
Yes, this will be my last podcast for Backward Point for at least 10 days.
What? Only 10 days? Are you leaving the podcast?
I'm going away for a few
This
days.
is how you start a new podcast? You're
This
going solo?
is how I start a new podcast called Forward Point.
Point backward.
Forward Point by
Forward
Bashar Sayed. Bashball even could be a
Yeah.
channel name. But
No,
yeah,
you're going on vacation for
I'm going on vacation. I'll be back in a few days. I'm going to be off of the grid, off of social media, matches.
Do you want to let
YouTube.
the fans know where you'll be? Maybe they'll run into you.
No, if you do see me though, come say hi. The likelihood is very low.
The likelihood is low. Okay. If you guys are anywhere in the should I name the country?
No.
No. People might find you.
I'd rather not.
Maybe you're saying your fandom is so big that people will flock into this country to find you.
That's correct.
Well, this is bigger than Virat Kohli, guys. This is bigger than Virat Kohli. All right, so the next few days, it's going to be me soloing, and hopefully I'll be getting some interesting guests in for Backward Point, filling in for Bashar across the borders and whatnot.
Patreon live call-in show?
Yeah, I'm considering options are open, Bashar. Options are open. People have always wanted us to collaborate with Pro Sports. Maybe this might be a good opportunity to get either Behram or Saad in for a series review. I don't know if you guys want that. Leave a comment. I'm going to try to pitch to some old friends and see like if they'd want to fill in for you. It's going to be a fun little experiment. If not, solo and other podcasts are always entertaining. I know people love that to the max. I've done two. One I did for the India versus South Africa final T20 World Cup game. Go check it out. You guys will enjoy it. 35 minutes of me just completely ranting, and for our Indian friends, giving India the props that they deserve.
People want to see us do podcasts with the Pakistan players, management, and trust me, they also want to speak to us as well. But the issue is the PCB. I have again checked back with the PCB media team, and they've mentioned that there is a strict policy of no interviews with the media, which I haven't really seen in any cricket board. Like, there's the Ashes happening, and there's Australian players doing interviews, podcasts for channels. English players are doing media stuff. It's the Pakistan players in particular who I've noticed have been barred from doing any media.
Yeah, because they might accidentally speak the truth. God ban.